Hi, I'm Dr. Laurence, and in this edition, I'm going to talk to you about diets. Now, all of you want to know about diets, right? And there are so many diets out there. Which one is best for you? Well, here's the answer. There is no diet. There's no diet that is actually best for you because it's not one single diet that matches you specifically. Well, actually, there is one diet that matches you specifically, but there's not one diet that matches all of us, simply because everybody's different. But here are some guiding principles that you need to follow that will pretty much, for everybody, should follow because it will get them healthier. Now, as mentioned, there's not one specific diet that's for you, but however, there's these key principles are: number one, you got to drink lots of water. Our body is made mostly of water, and you need to hydrate. That's a given. You need to drink about 25 milliliters per kilogram of weight. That's 25 milliliters per kilogram weight per day. Now that's a minimum. That's if you just do normal activities. Now if you're an athlete or you're actually working out, you should be drinking about 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram of weight, depending on what you're doing. Now the second principle that you need to do here is, of course, reduce the amount of sugar that you're actually ingesting. What I mean by sugar is not necessarily just sugar in foods, but also sugar like in packaged sugars, white sugar, but it's also sugar that comes from carbohydrates. Now, you do need carbohydrates. I'd rather start, to remove the sugars or the carbohydrates that are coming from more your grain-based, because majority of us, right, not everybody here watching this video, but majority of you are eating way too much grains. So from your bread, your pasta, your rice, they're just stacked on because we've been trained, right, since the early 1910s that we need to have 7 to 9 serves of grains according to the food pyramid, and that is just wrong. We don't need that much. What we do need to get our carbohydrates from is actually from raw fruits and veggies. That's the next principle. To eat more raw fruits and veggies are much better for you because there's energy within food. There's actual life force that are in food, whereas in grain and processed breads, it's dead food. Now, not to say that you shouldn't have any, but eliminating that would be helpful by reducing the amount of breads and replacing that bread and actually creating a better food source such as raw fruits and veggies, and replacing that will be so much better for you and so much healthier. And the third part I would suggest is that you also have to have making sure that every meal has to have carbohydrates, which you talked about, proteins and fats, right? You need to have your fats in your diet. Most people are so afraid of eating fat, so they have all these low-fat diets. They have Diet Coke and all this stuff, thinking that they're being healthy. But what you're doing is actually making your body even worse because we're so afraid of cholesterol. And we're so afraid of fat, and sort of what has been coming through in the diet age in the 90s is that what we're starting to realize is that people are getting depressed because we're not getting enough fat, we're not getting enough cholesterols, and we're not getting the right amount of fat. Now, cholesterol is very important because that's the precursor to a lot of hormones. So you need cholesterol and is produced by your body. What you want to do is stay away from as much away from the animal fats, but you want to get fats from good sources of fat, such as avocado, your olive oils, the uncooked, right? Also from oils that are from fish oil, and supplementing your body with really good omega-3 oils. So those are my main guiding principles. But this video is not about eating well and knowing those principles, because if you should know this by now. If you follow me enough times, if you watch enough of these videos, I would have mentioned all of these before. Now, the main thing about what I wanted to do this video is, you know the stuff. Why aren't you doing it? Why are you still not focusing on eating well? And that's my biggest frustration because, I read a quote today, and that kind of inspired me to do this video. This was done by a friend of mine in Canada, and he says that we as parents, spent more time taking our kids. We'll block out time to take our kids to the doctors, but yet we won't take that same amount of time to make sure our kids are getting healthy meals to ensure that they stay away from the doctors. Now, I think that's a very, very important insight because we're running around so much that we forget that food, the breakfast, your lunch, your dinners, your snacks, are vital key components that keep you healthy, that keeps you running and keeps you energetic and keeps you alive, and allows you to do the things you enjoy, and allows you to experience the life that you should deserve. Now, some of you might feel tired, you might feel lethargic, you might feel depressed or down. a lot to do with is the types of food that you're eating. Now, if you want, I know there's other stresses we need to talk about, but if you don't have the fundamental basis of physical stress, which is the physical food that you actually are eating, then we can't move on to the other levels. We have to get the fundamental down. You have to be eating good sources of food in order for to get the mental stuff, then removing the mental stress, to actually work, because food is a vital key component. You got to get your body right, because you can't even think properly if you don't eat properly. So what we need to focus on is eating the right nutrients, because eating the right nutrients really gives the fundamental of healing, function, and also for you to experience life to the fullest potential. Now, we don't wait, right? My suggestion is never to wait until you're feeling sick or unhealthy before you start doing something healthy. Why not do now? And more importantly, our kids deserve better. I believe that our kids are the losers of this if we don't focus on eating healthy. Or even if, grandkids as well, because they learn from us. Our kids learn from us and our grandkids learn from us. So it's very, very important for you to make sure that you actually start to eat healthy right now. So what is the biggest block for most people? Well, it's because they feel that it's too hard, because they've already been eating unhealthy foods for such a long time. And you may be in this case right now, that you've been thinking that you've been eating unhealthy for so long that it's just going to be too hard to jump to this level right here, right? This level here is just too hard because this is the healthy level and you're down here. Well, that's not true. I honestly don't believe you need to reach this level to be healthy. I believe that getting to here is a step. It's a step process, and it's one step at a time. And you need to at least move in this direction to get up to this level. And it's not where you are on this line, to me. I think, I believe, is that it's what direction you're heading. Are you heading downwards, or are you actually starting to go up? And I believe that if we move our whole entire family to eat small incremental things, do one change a day, you're going to have 365 changes in a year. That's the massive amount. If you don't want to commit to that, maybe just do one a week. One change a week towards changing an unhealthy habit to a healthy habit. So that's 52 healthy habits you're going to be able to do by the end of next year. So I think by 1 year's time from now. So I really think that I encourage you to take that action right now to say, I'm going to move towards a healthier me. And in order to do that, you actually have to figure out what that healthy action or habit is. So first of all, you need to decide as of today, like right now after this video, and say, my healthy habit for this week is, and then you do it, and you do it for 7 days straight, and you continue doing beyond the 7 days, and see how it makes you feel. Because how you feel, if you feel lousy, you feel have no energy, it's because most likely you're eating crappy food, right? Once you get all that bases covered, if you have you have a good nervous system, you've been getting adjusted by your chiropractor, right? Your friendly chiropractor. If you're eating really, really well, and you get your nervous system functioning, you're eating really, really well, and you're still feeling low in energy, and you're still feeling stressed, well, that's when we need to tackle other things and removing physical and mental stresses in your life, and we can talk about a little bit about that. But there's no point in starting any of that if your first two things, your nervous system is not cleared and your food is not healthy, is really the fundamental basis. If those are not cleared, there's no point moving on. Okay, so really, I encourage you to start doing this right now to figure out exactly what action step you're going to take this week to change into a healthy habit. Now, the second step I want you to do is write down, if you want to go gung-ho and write 51 action steps, that's great. But, for most people, that's a bit too much. So at least, once you start action step number 1, write down what action step number 2 is, okay? So that you are ready and prepared to do that next week. And then, obviously next week, have an action number 3. So you're always 1 week ahead to know the changes you're going to have in advance, so that you're going to have 52 healthy action steps moving you towards a healthier you, so that you're going to be healthier, you're going to be you're going to think better, you're going to have a longer life, you're going to have a more enjoyable life, and most importantly, you're going to be able to experience, your time with your kids, your grandkids, and maybe your great-grandkids, because you've been taking care of yourself so much better than you currently are. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you take action right now after seeing this video, because I will be watching, right? And my name is Dr. Laurence. I really hope you got a lot out of it. Take care. See ya.